Super BS.
What up, my brosifs? It is I, the ever-lovable baby boy Brank. I am ready. I'm back from the dead. I'm ready to break some bread. I've been scaring and making myself pee all night while playing awesome games, and I'm joined by the terrifying, horrifying, monstrous
guy named Josh.
that's not very scary.
Josh, yeah, just
Josh. Okay, well, I mean, I guess that's a little
Josh,
scarier.
Not joshing around.
No, I don't like
joshing
that.
you, just Josh.
I pretty much only want someone who's either joshing around or just joshing, okay? If you are not doing either of those two things, I don't want to know you, especially if your name's Josh, because that would be stupid, and I ain't no idiot. We're here to talk about games mostly because we are Super PS. We're a postscript podcast. We're at the end of every envelope that you sign that you can listen to this. Super BS, a podcast about video games mostly. And I want to kick it off by talking about RE Village, Broheem. How far are you in that bad boy? No spoilers. It's still early on.
I think I'm just like halfway through.
How many of the bosses have you murderized? Because we all know there's 4 bosses. We set that up. That's kind of like the everybody on the internet knows it.
So I have murderized one of them.
So you're how close do you think you are to murderizing the second boss?
I don't know. I told you that I was being chased by a baby.
Hey, you're chased by a lady. I got you, man. Everybody heard that. Yeah, that second house is rough. You loving it? You gonna finish it?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it. I just need some. I need to let my anxiety settle down a little bit. So once I'm like done with work for the summer, school's out. I got some time to sit down, play some games. I could play with the lights on.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably finish it.
I played that part with the sound off, and it made it a lot better because I couldn't handle that. It was midday, turn the sound off because that part was crazy rough. That game is great. I finished it. I love it. I would say it's in my top 5 Resident Evils. I don't know exactly where it is. I'm going through 7 now, and I really enjoy 7 as well. The problems that I had, they get lessened after you finish the first boss. 7, it seems like, is a really similar setup to Village, but it's more of a playoff of Resident Evil 1, where Village is much more of a Resident Evil 4 continuation in that way, even though Village is the sequel to 7. But yeah, I definitely know RE2 Remake, I think, is still my favorite, but Village, if it's not number 1, is right now at least a close 2. That game was so much fun, man. I actually want to go through and play it again, but I tried it on Village of Shadows difficulty, the hardest difficulty, and I got worked on like the first werewolf. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to restart on a lower difficulty if I intend to do that.
Just no skills, man.
No skills. Kills for skills, man. What game was that? Agent? Crackdown. Kills for skills, man. Kills for skills. Okay, so Village is good. We've talked about that a lot, though. The newest game, and this is the one that everybody wants to hear about because I bought into the hype, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. You bought it. I bought it. Everybody on Earth bought it. What do you think of it?
I'm sorry. You just like totally froze. What did you just say?
Oh, I said you hate Mass Effect, and you definitely hate the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, so I want you to explain your thoughts. That's what I said, so not something different than that.
Got it.
So explain why you hate it and how we can hate you as the internet.
I don't hate it. I mean, I'm not like particularly enjoying it, but I don't hate it.
Okay, which Mass Effect game are you playing? You have Legendary Edition. Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm just playing Mass Effect 1 right now.
How far are you?
I'm in the Citadel.
The Citadel? Where is this place?
The Citadel, I don't know, whatever
Good.
they call it.
The Citadel. Thank you.
All right, you want to correct me on a few more
I'm
things?
going to correct you all day.
Come on, Grandma. Grandma. That's what I'm going to start calling you.
Yeah,
Gigi.
Chi-Chi. Everybody knows that's what Chi-Chi stands for. And everybody knows that grandmas do the most grammar correction. That is why they're called grandmas.
They do. Grandmas.
Grandmas, nice.
So, yeah, I just got Rex and Garrus.
Nice.
And I'm doing some side quests. And, I forgot how long that, like, beginning part takes. Like, they don't just drop you off. You don't just, like, go there and then have the ability to just leave. You gotta go after Fisk or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the Kingpin from Spider-Man.
That's actually who it is. He's in Mass Effect. It's Kingpin.
And then you got to do like all this stuff for like the Asari consort, and
that's like the club's fight scene, right? When you go after Fist. I remember that one. That was cool.
Yeah, and like they have that fight scene. They don't really like explain like why you got attacked when you're going in there. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but I'm about right there, and I don't remember much about the game or what happens afterwards, but I'm assuming that like I'll be able to leave the Citadel after I take care of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little bit earlier than you are. I think there's a lot of things poorly done about this remaster. I was originally on the negative train before about a month ago, and then I bought into all the hype, thinking like, oh man, I'm going to be so excited to play this. I'll quick resume it when I'm playing other games. Well, guess what? Quick resume doesn't work with it, at least as of now. And I was like, oh man, it's going to be so much fun. And I turn it on. It's like the controls are so bad. The fact that you press back to put your weapons away instead of bring up a map.
Oh, yeah.
The fact
that took me a minute to figure out.
The fact that X throws grenades, or it's like an item button or something like that. It's very poorly done. I still love the leveling system in Mass Effect 1 compared to 2 and 3, because they were or 2, I should say. I think 3 fixed it again. But because I was just like, hey, you finish a zone and then you get your level up. But I will say, Mass Effect 1 has a lot of issues, a lot of ones that I didn't remember in 2007, and I didn't remember in like 2009 when I played it the second time. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I like going to the Citadel now. I'm about to dock there, and because there's no quick resume, I just haven't turned it back on.
Okay. See, like you have a bigger issue with like quick resume than I do. Like I'm totally fine. Like
I play a lot of
taking
games.
A few minutes to. No, I know, but I mean, like when I exit something, I'm totally fine taking the extra, unless it's Assassin's Creed, which takes, an hour to load. But like I'm totally fine having that extra like couple of minutes of silence. But
I mean, there's two separate menus you have to go through though, just to start the game. It's not like it was just one, which would have only been maybe a minute. It's even with the fast load times, I just think it's inexcusable.
Yeah.
This is what the Series X was selling us. It is a very awesome feature. I used it to play through Village while I played other games. I've been using it to play through Resident Evil 7 right now. It is insane to think like, oh, this is a major title from EA, a partner studio with Microsoft, that they're like, nah, we're not going to do quick resume. It's not on PS5, so we don't need to do it. So the only way you can do it is to play it through rest mode. And I'm not going to mainline Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I just don't care enough to mainline it. So I haven't really played it because I don't care enough to mainline it.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, like that bothers you more than me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to end up like finishing the game. It's I was telling you off podcast yesterday that it is kind of like nice, like I remember, when we were teenagers. I think when did that game come out? All right, we were in
college.
Like, we're in college.
2007. We had just graduated high school the year previous.
Yeah, so I remember when it came out, and I would sit there playing it. Just like I probably played through the game 5 or 6 times, and just how like at home you felt in the Normandy. You spend enough time in a game, and have like a home base. Like it starts to feel like your home. Maybe that means you're playing it too long, but like I did enjoy like going back and having that feeling again. But yeah, it is Mass Effect, and I guess one thing that kind of bothers me so far about it is that the skin textures during the cinematics are like they redid those textures, so it's not all just like glossy cheeks.
Yeah.
But the moment that it comes out of the cinematic, it's like someone hits a light switch and it goes back to being that like poorly textured off, the mouth doesn't quite match the dialogue. It just, there seems like there's some things they could have done better. And you had said it correctly, you had said it right the other day about how they should have focused more on like remaking it as opposed to remastering it.
It's so crazy. I'm looking at a list of games that came out in 2007. It's so crazy that Mass Effect was one of my most fondly remembered games that year, because that was the same year where literally months earlier, BioShock came out. The original Portal was released in Orange Box. Halo 3 came out. Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out. I bought Mass Effect, I believe, the same day as Assassin's Creed, the first Assassin's Creed. Super Mario Galaxy came out for the Wii. God of War 2 came out. Half-Life 2, Episode 2, the part of the Orange Box came out. It's just like wild. The Witcher, Ratchet & Clank, the original Crackdown. There's just so many games that came out that year. And honestly, Mass Effect and a few of those other ones is like one of my most well-remembered games. Now, obviously, I remember playing all of those games that year, but that original Mass Effect stuck with me. I was a BioWare fan from Knights of the Old Republic, which is like, I want to say 2004, maybe earlier, and then even Jade Empire. I loved Jade Empire. Oh my goodness. Before I had any interest in moving to China, Jade Empire was a game I really, really dug. So like I was a big BioWare fan already by then, but Mass Effect was something so special. And the fact that they would do this, which I feel like is not, it's maybe not as half-assed as the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection was last year, where I felt like that was almost a slap in the face, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close to that in my book. It is essentially like a money grab. The only good thing about it is it was $20, for each game, essentially. So it was like not an egregious money grab, but it is. They didn't do that much, in my opinion. I don't have 4K TV. I didn't get to see the games running at 120 hertz. Maybe that stuff makes the game totally different, but between the fact that the controls still aren't modifiable, at least as far as I've seen, like you can't change the control schemes, and how bad the controls are and how unfluid the game runs, like it really, to me, is like a slap in the face of an incredible game. Like, I don't know. It's just really disappointing to me because I think it could have been so much more.
Yeah, I mean, again, if they would have remade it instead of remastered, I think it would have been. Because, I mean, these games are readily available.
Yeah, on Xbox, you could have played them last week before the game, or 2 weeks before the game came out.
Yeah.
Like
and
they were on.
You go into any GameStop and you can still pick up a copy for like $3 from their thing. It's always on sale on the Xbox Marketplace.
Yeah. I think a couple of them were free too with Xbox, and if you have Game Pass, all of them are free. It's ridiculous, man. It's not the worst remaster I've ever played, but it's definitely not doing it for me. I'm gonna hopefully get a little bit further on because I want to re-experience Rex and Garrus and that whole fun, going to different planets and making huge choices and having big consequences. And I love Mass Effect 1, but I have been fighting with that control scheme and not enjoying the way it looks, really. Like, I don't think it looks that great. Yeah, if you look at a side-by-side, it looks good, but I mean, we're not even talking Halo 2 Master Chief Collection good. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're talking like up-res, Dishonored, remastered good, which is like, okay, yeah, fairly better.
It's funny, I'm looking at this list of games from 2007, and there's so much. Yeah. And like I was trying to think, like, I don't remember all these coming out. And then I was like, oh, that was like the height of the Wii's popularity. Yeah. So people are just putting out anything and everything they could on that console.
Well, I mean, they had a bunch of good Wii games that year. I mean, Galaxy is still an incredible Mario game. Metroid Prime 3, which I never finished because that came out in November against Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Orange Box. I want to say Mass Effect was also a November game. So it was like kind of crazy. Also, the first Uncharted game came out. That year is incredible, and we need to have a podcast just dedicated to greatest years of gaming because 2007 would definitely be there, along with 2017. I did play something else really recent. Like, this podcast can be a little bit old by the time you guys listen to it, but the Scarlet Nexus, like the anime-looking game from Bandai Namco, they had a demo that released today, I think. This is we're recording this about 5 days early. And do you know anything about that game?
No, I'm looking at it right now. It looks interesting.
The demo's really cool. You can check it out for sure on Xbox. I don't know if the demo's on PlayStation. I would assume it is. Let me see. So I'm not telling you guys the wrong thing. Yeah, it seems like it's on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X.
When's this come out?
It comes out in summer, June. The game is pretty fun. I think you would dig it. I was playing it. I was like, this reminds me of like a Devil May Cry. Not as slick, but very similar. But yeah, if it comes out and people can explain to me how the leveling up works, because I leveled up in the demo a couple times, but I didn't get the points you need to expand your, like, a lot of it is like telekinesis, brain power type stuff. I don't exactly understand how it works. So if that comes out and that part is good, the moment-to-moment gameplay is actually fairly fun. So all I need to know is if it's going to be balanced with like an interesting hub world or what the other gimmick is. Because if it's just me running through linear areas, I know I just won't care.
Right.
Yeah, you guys check it out. Fun action RPG, kind of a stylish action game. You have party members. They all can be assigned to the right bumper. The demo lets you play as one of two characters. I don't know. I would imagine that's all the characters that you can play as in the main game. And then you can have your party members who can do either things like light your weapons on fire or let you do teleportation or make you invincible for stuff. And there's some like QTEs when you're doing moves. It's fun. It's a really fun action game, stylish action game. Makes me want to go back and play Devil May Cry 5.
It looks cool.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
definitely check it out.
I am excited to potentially get it this summer, even though, to be fair, June is becoming a stacked month, so I don't know if I'll actually pick it up.
What is coming out in June?
Dude, June is when the new Ratchet and Clank comes out. What else was there? There's that Baldur's Gate game, which I don't have to buy, but it's free. It comes with Game Pass. But there's Ratchet and Clank, Baldur's Gate, or Dark Alliance. There is, what is the other one? Oh, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade.
The one that I can't play because I still can't get a PlayStation.
I think you'll be able to get one. But anyway, so there's those games. There's the Ninja Gaiden remaster, which I doubt I'll pick up, but that comes out. They have that new game building game for Switch called Game Builder Garage. They have Ender Lilies, which I mentioned on this podcast before. It's like a 2D Metroidvania, Hollow Knight style game with, it seems like, some RPG mechanics. They have Mario Golf, Super Rush. They have Legend of Mana. It's just like, it seems like it's a big month. That's all I'm getting at for like gaming in what has been a very quiet year. So we'll see if I end up picking up Scarlet Nexus because it comes out I think it's the same day as Super Rush, Mario Golf Super Rush. So yeah, it is. So we talked about this privately. I don't know if I'm going to pick up Super Rush. I love the Mario sports games, but it really depends on what the single player content is like for that. Are you for sure going to get it or no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. You know, I like the non-Tiger Woods themed golf games.
Yeah.
So
games that are more fun that's always a big plus for me.
There's always, and it has more like, I don't know, I'm more motivated to play it. You know, it's not stagnant like those like the PGA games are.
Yeah.
So yeah, to answer your question, I'm excited to play it. I'll pick it up. I don't know if I'll pick it up day one, but it is something that's on my list.
Yeah. Have you been playing anything at all recently or no?
Resident Evil, and what did we just talk about? We talked about Mass Effect, and I'm playing some game on Switch right now called Old Man's Journey.
Yeah, I have that too. I picked it up for a couple bucks. It's a really neat point and click, but
I fell asleep playing it,
nice.
But I do like I don't know. It's I like those kind of games. That's like it's calming. You know, you can just kind of shut your brain off while playing it. But I don't see myself, unless I'm like really bored, I don't see myself playing it to completion.
Yeah, I'm not into that either. And just for everybody listening, this is going to be a crazy short episode, so we're probably only going to chat for just a bit longer. But I want to bring up something though, not related to Old Man's Journey, but something that's kind of I feel like we need to talk about this week, just because it was something that bothered me to no end. We just had spoken about...
What's bothering you?
Yeah. We just had spoken about the games coming out in this year, and there's not a ton. And one game that we talked about earlier was Skyward Sword, the Zelda game coming out Switch, the remaster, it looks like. And it was just revealed last week that they are adding fast travel to the game, which could be awesome. I haven't played it yet, so I don't know how necessary it is, but they are adding fast travel, but the only way to access it is to buy a new amiibo that they made that is limited edition and also $25. And I was thinking about things that put me off to games, right? And like normally it's gameplay things like Old Man's Journey I enjoyed, but like you just said, it kind of puts me to sleep. It's not exactly like super exciting. There's not a lot of mechanics to it. You just kind of walk around and explore this thing. But this May, I'm not going to, say I for sure won't be doing this because I may pick it up in July. July is a pretty slow month. But this may be the first time a practice may keep me from buying a game. And I was curious what you think of that or if that's ever happened to you, because $25 for a DLC, one that's physical, that sounds like it is quite game-changing on a remaster that's added very little as far as we know, outside of just being able to play with controllers instead of motion controls, is kind of wild. It is kind of wild that that's not included in the game. So, and it's Nintendo, so I don't think they'll switch it, to be honest.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing to me, because I know the amiibos like unlock special things, but I'd never heard of something unlocking something that is like critical to gameplay. Like a lot of people use the fast travel because I'll be honest, like in a game like Elder Scrolls or whatever it might be, if I couldn't fast travel, I probably wouldn't have played all of it.
Yeah, I mean that's
because it takes up too much time, and if they're putting a mechanic like fast travel behind a paywall, then why are people going to take the time to play this game? They're not going to have the time to play this game. That'd be like putting, having to have an amiibo to fast travel in Assassin's Creed. Nobody would play that game.
100%, man. 100%. And I don't know if this stops me from buying it. And the crazier thing is this. They actually already released a Skyward Sword amiibo. It's like of Link. That is not compatible with the game. It is only this amiibo of like Zelda from Skyward Sword with this animal called Loftwing. And it's a cool looking amiibo, but $25 for DLC is just insane. Like especially for something that seems as potentially useful as fast travel is in most games. I would be totally okay if it was like, hey, it grants you one extra heart. It'd be like, oh, that sucks. Like I can't get the heart without that. But, whatever. This sounds like something that I kind of want to use, like to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I was just so frustrated.
At that point, I don't know if that's something that I would invest in. Like, I want to play this new game, but I probably won't. I probably won't if that's going to end up being the case. Because like again, like my time is valuable.
Yeah,
and I don't have time to like not be able to do functions like that I need.
Yeah, I think it's one thing to sell boosters in like Assassin's Creed, which like slightly help you where you don't need them at all. And it's another to sell something that could be gameplay changing. Now, like I said, I haven't played Skyward Sword, so I'll wait for reviews and I'll wait to hear what people say to see how useful the fast travel is before I am like, I'm not getting it because of this. But if it is what they say it is and potentially could be, where it's like, oh, you'll definitely want this because it's going to save you a lot of time, then I don't want to spend $85 on Skyward Sword. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Right.
One other piece of news that I thought we could bite into that's kind of interesting that we're going to have a lot to talk about here as E3 rolls around is, did you notice that there's a big rumor that seems to keep getting bigger and bigger that Starfield is probably coming out this year and is most likely going to be a Microsoft exclusive, meaning PC and Xbox?
Yeah, I saw that. I kind of assumed that was going to happen. What I'm curious about is because this is a newer property. I think the real test here would be when like Elder Scrolls or a new Fallout comes out. Is it going to be exclusive to Microsoft?
I really don't know, but for me, I mean, Starfield is such a big property. I know it's new, but like people are very excited for it. This isn't like, I'm trying to think of something.
Yeah.
This isn't even Prey. 2017.
I mean, I am excited.
Where it's like
how long ago
a lot
they
of people
announced
don't
this
care
game?
about it, is already exists, but it's not like super big. I would say Starfield is much, much more anticipated than that Prey game ever was. So
Yeah, how long ago did they announce Starfield?
they announced it, I want to say 2 E3s ago, or 2 years ago, because
Okay.
there was no E3 last year. And it was just a teaser. Supposedly they've been
Yeah.
working on this game for a long time. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm very excited. I'm really interested to see what's happening. I've seen a lot of people really throw a lot of shade at Microsoft saying they're just buying studios. But, there was a rumor that came out this month, or maybe not a rumor, something that said that Sony is working on 25 games exclusive for PlayStation. And one of the things that was saying is a lot of those games aren't from Sony development studios. So they are essentially buying exclusives. So I don't know why one is better than the other, according to the internet. But somehow that's the case. One is much better than the other. It's better to not buy the studio. It's better to buy the game. To me, that's it's bullshit. Like, it's all the same. Like, it's trying to keep the games separate from other players. And believe me, if Microsoft hadn't done so much with Game Pass and letting me play backwards compatible stuff, if they were a lot more closed off like they seemed like they were getting at the end of the 360, I might have been upset about this Bethesda purchase as well. But so far, I feel a lot more safe buying stuff from them than I do on the Sony side, where I'm never sure if I'll get to use it, after a few years.
Right. Yeah.
And it really depends. Depends on what type of person you are. Are you going to be somebody who wants to own your properties, own your licenses? Or are you some guy who's like, I only play the new game and I only play the big new game and I only play it as soon as it's out and I never play it again?
Yeah.
Any other big articles that stuck out to you? We'll probably just do some short stuff before we get, hopefully here we'll have a weekish soon where we can just go through and really, really discuss E3 stuff. Because that's rolling up, man. That's going to be here before we know it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of gaming stuff in the news lately that has been of any interest.
I mean, you did tell us about the this is like a gaming adjacent thing, the Pokemon card stuff. You want to regale everyone?
Yeah. So, I mean, Target, I don't know if you guys have heard, but Target and Walmart have stopped selling Pokemon cards. And also Magic the Gathering and different types of sports cards because it's scalpers, man. Scalpers are scalping. They're out there and it's gotten to the point where employees of Target and Walmart are getting hurt over it.
It's wild. It's
so
crazy.
Wild.
Man.
There's people getting stabbed and people getting beat up. It's just insane. And it's all because this scalping culture has gotten crazy bad because COVID and people are now that people are in unemployment, they have time to stay at home and go do stuff that they wouldn't otherwise have the time to do.
Also, the payoffs are radical, man. That's why this is happening. It's because there's some extreme wealthy person or groups of people at the top. It's like, oh, a Charizard card? I'll give you $380,000 for that. I mean, that's life-changing money. You know what I mean? So, if you have the opportunity to get that life-changing money, of course, most people are going to go do that. It's just sad that it's devolved to the way it did, where it's like, oh, we're going to cut people off in line and try to stab people and do all this other nonsense for the opportunity to maybe get that. It's it's definitely not like lotto odds. It's higher than that, but it's not incredibly high odds that you're going to be able to get the thing that you want.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane, man. And what's sad is that these kids who actually collect these cards and actually want to be a part of this culture can't because of this.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing this in a lot of things. You and I have spoken openly about our, at least my for Dogecoin and the cryptocurrencies. They're on a free fall right now. It is wildly out of control how much they've dropped.
Some analysts actually just predicted it's going to go up to $7 or $8 a coin.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying that since. I mean, I have been saying $3 since this crazy jump. This jump showed everybody anything's possible because it almost got up to $1 right then. But we don't know because every time analysts say stuff, the opposite happens. If you look at them right now, they've dropped 40 cents, in the last 2 weeks. But it is. It's just a weird culture, I think, of people trying to find equity in a world where it's just a lot less possible to be guaranteed it. You
for sure.
You putting money into stocks might beat inflation, but we're not sure about that. And you're not going to be able to buy a house off your stock investments, most likely.
Right. Right.
Yeah, man. I am excited for gaming though this year. I know we just devolved into other weird gaming adjacent things, but I'm excited for gaming. I think it's going to be a really fun year. I actually think Biomutant might be a blast. So hopefully by the next time you hear us, it came out to rave reviews, and I'll have picked it up if that happened. And hopefully it's great. If it comes out and people say it sucks, I'll wait, because that's definitely a game I could imagine being on sale real fast. But I saw some gameplay for it recently, and it looks real good. I think that game looks...
I'll have to check it out. I mean, I was not too excited about it when I saw the trailer, but I'll have to check out some gameplay. I just like... Is it first person? Is it third person?
No. It's a third person open world action RPG.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'll check it out. I mean, it's not like there's a lot that I'm playing right now anyways.
I would look at it because it like the dialogue is Fallout reminiscent, and it's a blast. I mean, it looks like a lot of fun. I haven't played it yet. I don't know how much fun it is. These weird B-tier games like run the gamut of being okay to good, sometimes excellent, to normally like garbage. So we'll have to wait to see. But visually, it looks very stunning. So
yeah.
Okay, my bro stuff. I think we're going to
out,
take off to the land of the free and the home of the brave so I can get some blaze time in with Resident Evil 7. I want to get through that house. I'm already on the third boy, and I'm ready to get some meat on my body. So I'm really digging that game. After you finish Village, if you want to piss your pants a little bit more, you should get back into that one. It's really, really good.
Yeah, that one was like extra anxiety for me. So I think I just need time when I'm not like having other things I got to do, So maybe when I have some couch time over the summer, I'll sit back and play them both.
Well, you and your lady could check it out together. I don't know if she likes that style of content.
She does not. She only likes games where there are scores on them. Like she's too competitive for an RPG.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm talking about like Resident Evil. There's no...
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Even like a first-person shooter. Like there has to be a score counter on there for her to be interested.
So she doesn't like horror films or anything horror adjacent?
No. Oh, no. We tried to watch Signs. This was like several months ago, and she just was not having it
Really?
at all.
Signs? Signs isn't even that scary, man.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie too, though. That was Shyamalan's like last like great film.
You know, you should really scare her by showing her Lady in the Water and just how bad it starts getting. And then
I can't even like watch that movie.
To terrify her even more, have her watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh, that movie's bad. I love it. Okay, my bros. Peace.
Late.
Oh yeah.